Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to our live video. My name is Valentina Gutorova. I'm founder of a dating website, Ukrainian.com, and I invite you to join our live video, our live broadcast on our YouTube channel. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube, subscribe. I'm sharing with you lots of interesting dating tips, especially if you are interested in Ukrainian ladies, especially if you want to date Ukrainian ladies. So welcome. By the way, in the same time, I'm doing this broadcasting on our Facebook page, so you can find this information and this video on our YouTube and Facebook pages. So the topic is quite interesting. It's unpleasant, yes, because it's really unpleasant to be a victim of scammers, or especially if you used to trust someone, if you used to trust a lady, if you had really good intentions and afterwards you realize that you were scammed. Actually, this is like, for some people it might be even a tragedy, unfortunately. Quite often we meet people who lie, we meet people who scam. I was victim of scammers. I've been communicating with some guys who were victims of scammers. I even know some ladies who were victims of scammers of guys. So like, it's a very, how to say, unfortunately, this topic is really hot, and it's important to discuss it and to have some knowledge, basic knowledge, yes, basic, which will help you just to take care of yourself and do not allow other people to take advantage of you. I think that is quite important. So I read your comments on our social media, on Facebook. I read your comments on YouTube, and I understand that some guys, they really find themselves in a situation when they were communicating online with the lady, and afterwards they were asked by the lady to send her money for the flight ticket. Yes, this is like the first example, as I understand, the most common one. Yes. And so ladies ask guys like, look, I want to come to you, and so on and so on, send me money for the flight. The first tip, and this is the thing number one, which I'm going to repeat again and again and again until people who are supposed to hear it will hear it and will actually do it. Never, never send money to anyone who you have never met before in real life. Just never, just forget about it. Even if you like lady so much, she's so nice, you want to help her so badly. No, no, just make it like your principle. Number one principle: don't send money to anyone you haven't met before, you haven't been having at least some communication. I don't speak about relationship, friendship, yes. Unfortunately, Ukraine is not a stable country. Yes, now we are talking about Ukraine. Yes, and we have many different problems. Yes, and it's normal if you feel good about someone, if you like someone, and you find out that someone is in bad situation, to help. Yes, it's normal. In Ukraine, for example, we have many different like funds when people, they have health problems, cancer, when kids have cancer, when some people were in a bad car accident. If the families don't have money, we have just advertisement everywhere, and just locals ask Ukrainians who can please help. Yes, and like, it's normal just to help if you feel like inside yourself, and you just forget about it. But it's a completely different story if you are a single man, and for example, I'm a single lady. We are single, we met each other on a dating website. I'm a lady, yes, and I started communication, for example, with you, with you who is listening to this video. And from the very beginning of our communication, very beginning, I think it's even 2-3 weeks, I start to say to you about my very bad problems, about my very hard life, and about financial help I need. Sorry, first of all, guys, also it's really important, please listen to this. Nobody likes as a person who complains. If someone is complaining and suffering from the very beginning of the communication, I would recommend you to stop this communication. Even if the lady is extremely sexy, even if she is fantastically beautiful, just can you imagine in the future when you will be building, developing your relationship, she will complain all the time. I mean, do you need it? I think no. For example, I don't need a man who complains all the time. I think this is normal. Everybody has problems. Everybody lives their lives to solve this problem, and it's not worth complaining like all the time and all the time. So okay, this is like beginning of our conversation, and we start with the first tip. Never send money to anyone you have never met in person. Just never. If the situation that the lady asks you like, oh, can you help me financially, I would come travel to you and blah 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 blah, you say, I'm very happy to see you, but first of all, I always recommend guys to travel to Ukraine for the first meeting. Just get this ticket. You don't need a visa to travel to Ukraine. Come over 3, 4, 5 days at least. Spend some time. Just learn some interesting things about the country. If you come to see her and, for example, you don't like her on the in Ukraine, you will have more chances to meet a different girl who will probably be a better become a better match for you. So first of all, I always recommend to travel to Ukraine for the first meeting. If the situation is that, for example, you can't travel, or I don't know, like there are different situations, yes. And for example, you plan your trip somewhere abroad, yes, in Europe, some of my clients meet each other, for example, in Holland or in Germany or in Italy. If she's fluent in English, if they both like each other, and now Ukrainians don't need to have visas to Europe, so it's like very simple to travel. Why not to meet? Yes, it's a good idea. But if the lady asks you to send her money for the flight, this is very strange, because it's really hard work. If you go to the bank, you send her the money. She is supposed to go to the bank to pick up the money. After, she is supposed to go to the currency exchange office to exchange the money. After, she is supposed to go to the travel agency there to get the ticket. I mean, so much work for what? If there are really easy options online, you can buy the ticket online for your lady. Just simply ask her to send you the photo of the first page of her passport, and go online and choose the ticket she wants, and just buy it with your card. If sometimes I know it's for some people it's really hard, yes, to buy tickets online, and then I can recommend you to go to the travel agencies. I know that and I know this from my own experience, from my personal experience, that in United States of America, in Canada, even in Germany, sometimes you have even better deals than we do have in Ukraine. So if you plan a trip with your lady, for example, if you plan to meet each other in Europe, or you want her to come over to you to the United States of America, then I would recommend you just to get this ticket to her and send her via email. It's very simple. Just don't give yourself a chance to feel that you were scammed. Just, you plan to meet each other, you are a man, yes? So it's quite normal for Ukrainian ladies when a guy takes care of the trip and of some of things like tickets, like hotel and so on, and you can do it with the help of travel agency or online, and you don't need to send money to anyone. Just, it's very simple. Also, I know that sometimes such situations happen, that ladies asks for money. For example, she wants to get a visa to United States of America. Yes, and she says that, oh, send me money that I can get visa to United States of America, and so on and so on. I have heard from some guys afterwards, the lady receives some money, and afterwards she doesn't get her American visa because the embassy declined her application form, and so the money is lost, and you don't know if it was true or not, or the lady has disappeared, whatever. Look, again, I will repeat it again and again. Never, never, never send money to anyone you have never met in person. Just don't do it. If a lady wants to get a visa to United States of America, for example, Ukrainian person who can get an American visa is supposed to have good job, good income, supposed to have a well-traveled foreign passport, and this person should have like good history, you know. And I'm in Ukraine, I live in Ukraine, and I know that usually people who have a chance to receive American visa, they have money to pay for this visa. It's very simple. And you can be just honest with your lady. If she wants to get an American visa, you can say her, okay, I'm very happy, I'm waiting for you, I'm inviting you, I will meet you at the airport, and so on and so on. So please get your visa, and when you meet, I will pay for the expenses for this visa. I think this is a great deal, and why not? Guys, it's first of all, it starts from honesty with yourself. Why do you want to send money to this lady? That to show to her that you are a great man, that you have money, that she decides that you are the right man for her to be with. Yes. And afterwards, if, for example, the lady or just she was dishonest, you will feel disappointment, terrible disappointment, and in such way you take away from yourself a chance to meet the right person. So just make the rule for yourself simple, honest rule, and you can share this rule with anyone you are communicating with anyone you are planning to communicate with, that I have one principle: I do not send money to anyone I have never met before. I have no problems to help you, to send you gifts, to pay for the trip, just no problems. But unfortunately or fortunately, this is my principle, and I can't go against it. So this is really the basic thing. And I talk about this thing again and again, again and again, again and again. But unfortunately, thank you so much for your comments. I do really appreciate them. Thank you so much. But unfortunately, it happens again and again. You know, I can share with you the story. I started my career as a professional matchmaker in 2007, and I had my first client, very nice man. You know, we were keeping in touch for many years, and I think we haven't heard about each other for 2 years probably. So, and he was dating, and one time he called me and said, "Oh, Valentina, you know, I found such a beautiful girl. She's so fantastic. She's from Odessa, but she will come to Kharkiv." And Odessa and Kharkiv distance is about 750 kilometers. And they say, "Oh, sounds great. How she will get to Kharkiv by train or what?" And so on and so on. And I asked him, "I hope you haven't sent her money for her trip from Odessa to Kharkiv." He told, "No, she's fabulous. She's fantastic. Of course I did. She will come." I said, "Okay." And afterwards, he came to Ukraine. Obviously, he didn't have any appointments because he was planning to meet this lady from Odessa in Kharkiv. And lady didn't come. So she didn't show up. You know, of course, I was feeling very sad for him. And I told him, "Look, you know me for so many years. I told you so many times, never send money to anybody. If such situation, you know, I could buy for her this ticket or whatever, and then you arrive, you give me this money. Like, why you send this money? Why? What's the point? Like, what is your goal? If your goal to build relationship, you are not supposed to start this relationship with the money and with the expenses. Nobody says that you don't need to give presents to your lady, that you're not supposed to help to your lady. No, you know, it's really you know, for example, for me, I'm a very generous person, and I believe that generosity opens many doors for us. It gives us a chance not only to help other people, but even to improve this world. But being generous and being foolish are two different, completely different things. And there are so many different ways how we can be scammed, how we can be fooled, and so on, that at least we should make some basic things that to prevent bad situation for our heart, first of all, you know, because money come and go, but the way how bad you will feel when you realize that you were scammed, that you were fooled by someone who you really liked, this is really terrible. Because again, then you have no trust when you will be communicating with the ladies in the future. Why are you going to do this with yourself? Just decide for yourself. You don't send money to anyone you have never met before. Again and again. If it's about flights, no problems. You can book the flights online, you can go to the travel agency and even catch better deal for you both for the flight. You can come over to Ukraine, to her home city, to her hometown, whatever, to her village, and meet her locally. It's very simple, it's easy. Ukraine is developing, and you know, with every, I would say that with every day, Ukraine becomes better and better in spite of many different problems. This is the first thing, you know, the basic thing. Second, guys, sometimes when I check your profiles on ukrainianrealbrides.com, I see many photos with beautiful mansions, photos with some really luxury cars, and I have a question. What's the point to download to your profile such photos? Do you want to show that you are a wealthy man? Just from the beginning of the communication. Like, if you do it, actually, you will attract ladies who are money oriented, who are not relationship oriented. Again, I want to say that money, finances, and so on, this is important part of the life, but it's just the tool. If you are about relationship, if you are about the marriage, first of all, you should feel comfortable with each other's personalities and looks, with each other's lifestyles. And only then comes the question, the money questions, the financial questions. So check your profiles and take a look. What photos do you have in your profile? What do you show with your photos? You know, this is like also very important thing. You know, it's the same I say to the ladies when I check the ladies' profiles and I see photos in underwear, in bikinis, and so on and so on. Of course, I understand that the guys probably, not probably, but actually they are interested in sex with her, but not in the relationship. So, what's your goal? Do you want to find a sugar baby, or do you want to find a wife? And the same for the ladies, if they want to find a sugar daddy or they want to find a husband. So, my dear friends, it's really important, first of all, to make decision inside yourself. Who are you looking for? I'm not against sugar daddies, sugar babies. I'm not against gays. I'm not against lesbians. I'm not against all of these things. No, no. Everybody has right to do what they want, what makes them happy. But be honest with yourself. What do you want? Do you want to buy a wife, or you want to build relationship? This is quite important. Um, Also, there is another thing which I want to mention in this video. This video becomes like longer, and I don't want to make it really long because I want you to listen to this information, and I want you to take advantage of this information, to use this information, and not only to listen, you know. And another thing, for example, what most of the guys do. For example, you're in a relationship with your lady, yes, and such situation that she has a problem. For example, different problems. We take such situation that she lives in an apartment, and or she has to move to a different apartment, or she has to make some construction work in her apartment, and so on and so on. And then she asks you to send her money for that to help her financially with all this stuff. Yes, of course, it's normal if you do this, if you trust this lady, if you're in a relationship, if you are planning to develop this relationship. Yes, it's good. But there is one really important thing which will help you really to make your relationship stronger. You should take some effort, and you should show your interest in her. For example, you should take some days off from your work and just come over to Ukraine and help her to do this. Like, at least physically help her to do this thing which she is not able to do by herself because she is a woman. You know, in such situation, I need to make some works in my apartment. Yes, I'm a woman. Yes, I don't have money to hire workers. And I ask my man, oh, my dear, blah, 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 I need to do this and that. Can you please help me financially to do this? Yes, most of the guys, what they will do, some will say, oh, no, I don't care. That's your job. Do whatever you want. But of course, I think this relationship won't last long. Another situation, a guy will say, okay, no problem. How much you need? Just forget about this. Yes, this is like easy way. Okay, yes, it's quite common. But if you have at least few free days, if you have a chance to take some days off from your work, just travel over and help her to do this. Just do it for her, not only with your money, but also with your just to show to her your love with your actions and not only financial actions. Well, I hope that you agree with me. I hope that you heard this message, and I will be really happy to read your comments. I will be really happy to answer your questions. I hope that you will not send $2,000 for the flight tickets to somebody you have never met, and you will just take advantage of online booking tickets of travel agencies. I hope that you will be wiser while you're communicating and dating online, and do right decisions. If you have any problems, any questions, do not hesitate and contact me. I will be really, really happy to be useful for you. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for being with me this 23 minutes. I really do appreciate it, and I do recommend you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and give yourself a chance to meet your true love in Ukraine, and hopefully with UkrainianRealBrides.com. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your week. Subscribe to our YouTube and to our Facebook. Bye bye. Thank you.